here we are as a part of Medicine Woman, Medicine Man. We have today a beautiful soul with us, and he will gonna introduce in a minute by himself. And I'm so grateful because today I took the bus 2 hours from Edinburgh, and I'm in new place that I never been before. And it's excitement to travel as well and go to places that we never been, and it doesn't need to be so far. So he is so welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself the way you would like to call yourself, and who are you?
Well, first of all, thank you, Isa, and hello everyone who's watching this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and just to say how beautiful it is what you're doing. You know, creating this little community, creating connections with people, and giving them the opportunity to speak and share their truth, share their medicine, as we call it. So thank you, and welcome to beautiful Dunkeld in Perthshire. My proper name is Grigorios Karastamatis, but I can understand that, that can be a little difficult for some people. So, people are calling me Gregory, Greg.
Yes, I am the one as
well. So, I'm Greek, but I live in Scotland for almost 20 years now. So, I also feel Scottish too. I feel that I'm really connected to this land, to its magic, its history. So yeah, the path led me here, and I'm really grateful because I live in this beautiful place in nature, which is
a blessing itself, right?
A blessing.
We create the blessing, and you create that blessing, and we are in your studio that is even so beautiful because you have like no long distance to just come in and create, and it's wonderful that you create that space for yourself.
No, I'm lucky, and I'm really grateful actually.
And this is like, we met with Gregory long time is objective, subjective
many
things,
ago.
But it was part of the Planetary Healing Center when you also work. And I met you, and you was telling me a lot about your knowledge about the stone energy, and after that I find out you're an artist, and I thought like, who is that man? It's like what he's doing, what he's talking about. I was just stepping in, being honest, in that knowledge, and I still didn't connect it that much with crystals, but I knew that, and it was like astrology and all of that. So for me, it's like, I was like, wow, like you carry a lot of knowledge and understanding. And what is that meaning for you? Like, what is your connection with the places, energy, and the crystals, and the things, and the tools?
It is a long journey, right? And these are all, elements that were coming along the path. But I think that
and how does it started, Gregory?
Yes, that's a good starting point, because since I was a little child, my dream, honestly, since I can remember myself, my dream was to become an archaeologist. I was always drawn to the ancient times, to the past, but also at the same time there was always art in my life since I was a little child also. So there were like two paths going at the same time.
So like playing with the sun, for example, or playing to be archaeologist, and then how does it art was impacting your childhood, and how does it?
Well, I did manage to become an archaeologist, finally. And since I was a child, I was always drawn to ancient stuff, myths.
Greece is full of mythology,
Exactly. So I did become an archaeologist, and my love for archaeology is finally flowing through my art now. So although I'm not following this path of archaeology, okay, I did that, I did my studies, I worked as an archaeologist actually, but I realized that it wasn't my path, but it was part of my path because it has given me so much inspiration that I now realize that it's coming through my art. I see it, I'm like, oh my God, this is...
But Gregory, like how does it happen? Because sometimes we do know that this is not your path, but you still hold to it and you're still doing it because it's but you stepped it, like how does it was very clear for you that this path is need to be transformed, you need to be changed, or
Yes,
something
yes.
involved.
So, I was doing my master's in Edinburgh many years ago, or I had started my master's, but, at the same time, I was doing my doodling and my art. And my flatmate back then, who was standing at Edinburgh College of Art already, he was like, Grigor, are you sure archaeology is what you really want to do? And I remember I was writing some chapters for my master's, and I had like piles of books and photocopies and this and that, but I was doing my drawing. And at some point, it was this moment of truth, and I asked myself, okay, what's going on here? You need to give this chapter like in a week, and you're doing drawing. And you know what? It was this boom moment, and I was true with myself, and I faced, my truth, and I accepted that truth, and I thought, no, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be locked in a library doing a PhD, that only 10 people in the whole world will be interested in. No, it's not for me anymore. So I went to my professor the next day and I said, no, sorry, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow.
So that was the moment when I decided, okay, art, it was always part of my life. I always loved doing it. Maybe I was afraid when I was in Greece to pursue it in a more, serious level, let's call it professional, because it's not easy. It's not an easy world. It's not an easy path to follow. Say, oh, I'm an artist and I will just live from that. I mean, I still haven't managed to do that. I still have another little job to pay my rent and to cover my bills. But you just cannot deny the truth of who you are and what it is that you like doing, And I just, I don't like, as a person, I don't like doing this to myself. I'm always honest, and I always, whatever feels right, I'm following this, no matter the consequences and no matter the price that I have to pay.
Because there is always a price.
There's always a price.
And it's like very humbling. I found it on myself, a humbling journey, and it really takes a courage to follow your gut, follow that, because we need to pay the rent, we need to pay the things, and or be adult, sometimes you're not behaving as an adult, I heard that many times, Gregory, but my soul still like have that calling of playfulness, of exploring, and I think this is the power also of art. But before we go that, like when you hear the word art, what it means to you, art, the words, the vibrations, the sensation, because art now is everything, everywhere. Clinic art, clinic where they, do the beauty, everything. So
well, that's the question.
And
finally.
art of living, some people like, in the spiritual also, religion, or there is an art of living as well, or we called life is art, or life is, I don't know, there's so many different sentences.
Well, that's the question finally, isn't it? What is art? And finally, who can answer that, But, as I'm observing art, because, I had studied history of art, so that is a tricky question. What is art? So I have, come down to narrow this question. I think that, okay, in a general, from a general point of view, yes, everything is art. Whatever is connected and comes as an act of creativity and comes through you, yes, in a generic term, we can call this art. But what is the real art? So I'm going back through centuries, and the things that we perceive as masterpieces of art, what do they have in common? I think, for me, of course, they have beauty in common, and also they have time, because all these masterpieces of art took a long time to finish, you know, whether it was a painting, whether it was a statue, whether it was something. And I don't see these elements anymore in modern art. So, of course, art is a product of a certain time and age. It is a product of social structures and, you know. So, I don't know, it's not very easy to pinpoint and say this is art or this is not. So I'm always trying to keep an open mind. For me right now, art is whatever touches my heart, whatever touches my soul. When I see something and I see that there is a process behind it, I see there is some thought behind it. I can understand a more expressive form of art, you know, take your brush and start, you know, and do that, which is, you know, so yeah, you cannot say this is art, this is not art, this is good art, this is bad art. I think that, you know, your heart and your soul, when see something, can recognize, or it can feel a resonance with something, and that's enough. And that's the role of art, to awaken something inside you, to provoke you, to make you think, make you feel.
Yes,
Yeah.
like a live vessel within that is flowing and transforming, and I can really feel that in your art, Gregory. But also, you know, do you see yourself like as an artist? I am Gregory, I am artist. And what does it mean to you to even, you know, because sometimes I see myself, for me, it's even call myself an artist. I'm do sometimes art, but I'm an artist, you know, and I'm like, what does it mean for you to be artist? And do we need to call ourselves, right? But identification is important.
As a person, I don't like labels,
Yes.
to be honest with you. So, and sometimes, you know, when you say artist, you know, it comes with a certain heaviness.
Yeah.
You know, it comes with a certain responsibility. For the sake of communication, yes, I can say, hello, I'm Gregory and I'm an artist, but I am Gregory and I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, I prefer that. But, you know, also, you know, the more I grow up and the more I connect even deeper with my art practice, you know, I also realize that your art practice is a reflection of your own journey, finally. And I see that, you know, the older I get, the closer I come to myself, this reflects on the quality of my art too.
Yeah, and I can see that, you know, this is patterns.
So, for example,
patterns,
you know, since we have that here, that's an old piece.
Yes.
Now, you know, I'm more towards simplicity. Yes, it's still, my work is still focused on detail, on pattern, or all that. But
and there's a goddess as well, right?
That's a goddess as well. Yeah, Amphitrite, the sea goddess. It just came to me one day, you know. but yeah. Now my artwork is more focused, is more, you know, and it's trying to find meaning, it's trying to find truth, and everything that I'm doing now, and now it's archaeology full on coming on, because all my work of the last 2 years are all inspired by the Neolithic. or let's call it the remote prehistory, okay, like 10,000 years ago. And what fascinates me now is that, you know, we see, especially in actually in many parts of the world, and especially in Turkey, you know, they find all these places like Göbekli Tepe, all these places that push the boundaries of time even more, and they have completely changed the narrative as we knew it so far. So the archaeology so far was telling us first it was settlement, and then settlement, farming, and then it was spirituality. And now you have places like Göbekli Tepe that go back like 10,000 BC, and they keep on finding even more ancient places. And finally, it's exactly the opposite. First it was spirituality, and then it was settlement and farming and everything, which I think it makes sense because, and this is what fascinates me, and this is what I'm trying to connect with, these really old times that people were actually living in harmony with the earth, because they were living in nature, but with nature also, because they were depending on nature. They were living with nature cycles and rhythms and seasons and this and that. So I think it was just a way of being for them to be connected to the earth. They knew their place, and they knew, I think, you know, this is all my my interpretation, of course. I think they knew that they were part of it, and they knew their place. So they were living symbiotically with the earth. And that's why they knew that the earth was something alive, and they were and they knew that it was something sacred. So spirituality, all those things.
Exactly, this is what I want to ask you.
That's
What is
another
your understanding?
That's another
Like,
term.
what does it mean to, you know, for you to be spiritual? Because it's everyone, you know, and now I'm thinking, like, even for me, when I hear it, I feel like discomfort.
Yeah. It's another umbrella term, isn't it? Spirituality. What is spirituality finally? I don't think it's like a button that you push, or now I'm spiritual and now I'm not spiritual. Let's call it spirituality for the sake of communication again, because okay, we have to communicate and we have to, you know, express our ideas and everything. But we all have this connection to whatever you want to call it.
I call divine, you know. Somebody
You
call
call it-
God.
you call it-
Somebody energy. It's a name,
Yeah,
right?
you call it
It's
the
another-
divine. I like calling it the Great Mother. You know, I like this idea of this feminine creative force, because okay, you know, the feminine is a creative element, not that the masculine is not, and this is exactly what we're experiencing right now, this polarity, this male, female, you know, roles that we have to play. What's that all about? You know, I don't think it used to be like that back then.
I don't feel either. And even I struggle, you know, when I was giving the name for this medicine woman, medicine man, I also struggle with. But somehow I said, like, okay, just do it. Don't think too much. Because if I will think about it, of course, I will never, you know, it will be difficult. It's another name, and hopefully, I don't know, it resonated at the time. It might transform, but I feel, Gregory, and there is a grief in many of us, souls that really need that connection with the earth and looking for quiet places. But also, you know, even there is a community happening, because I found it on myself. Very often we coming with the wounds, and we bring that wounds, and when we don't work, there's another, you know, ego and all of that hierarchy, right? But in earth there is no hierarchy. I don't feel it. Like, she just leave it.
No,
it's just
no,
it's very difficult to translate, like,
you know, that's the point, is you know, that we have lost that. Actually, it's not lost, it was always there, but as society and as humanity, we have followed a path for some thousands of years now. This is not just now, this is like a long story, and we just disconnect from that. We have disconnected from that, and we have lost the meaning, the essence. We have lost the what is and what isn't.
Or black and white. It's like it's now it's very clear, like believing in that, you know.
Yes.
And I feel that there is more than black and white.
Oh,
There is-
it's black, white, and everything in between, you know. But what I was saying with the what is and what isn't, not in a form of black and white, but in nature, it is like that. You have truth, you have what is, and that's how the things are working, and what isn't. In nature, you focus on the real meaning and the real essence of things. There is no,
No.
you know.
And you know what I found out when I go to the nature? I don't need much. She
Yes.
always teaching me, of course I need fire, but I can collect the wood, you know, shelter, some food, but I always feeling like even if I carry a lot of things, I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah,
Because she's giving me already so much.
yeah.
You know, the vision, the healing, the medicine itself through the
yes.
senses, right? Because we touch, we smell, we connect through our senses.
Yeah.
And especially like certain places have different kind of vibration, right? That we are pulled to it.
Absolutely. In nature, you know, your whole being is being engaged. Your senses, you know, your what you just said, your smell, your touch, your eyes, colors, shapes, everything is there, everything. And the more you tune into that, finally, the more I think you realize that things are simple. You know.
But to find that simplicity within you, because now, Grigorios, I think you are on the path that facing that simplicity, and you told me you live very simple life.
Yeah. Yes, but how long finally it took me? I'm like 51 years old, you know, and you know, this is the irony of life, that you have to spend half of your life deprogramming and deconstructing all those things that were imposed on us from hundreds and thousands of years. You know, this, oh, you have to be like that, you have to live like that, you have to think like that. So I'm like, no, you know, and this is where nature comes, just to reconnect with our conversation, that it's like nature awakens a filter that helps you to see the truth and to see the simple, that everything is simple in its base, right? Like simple things, but meaningful, and also things that come from your heart, okay, and not from your mind, because as a society, this is where we're living in our minds.
So tell me, how do you keep your heart open, awake, and ready to connect it with the Great Mother? Because it's also not easy one. The mind is like, I see myself, you know, often play that.
Okay, the mind, of course, but the mind is also a tool, yes? But when the mind is in a nice balance with your heart, then, you know, it can help. But when you constantly live in your mind, then where's the connection with your heart?
So do you feel like your art, creativity, because, you know, there's two big subjects I love to talk about you, because your connection with the land, and there is so much connected to the whispers of the land that I work on it, and I know the land is coming through you and it's part of your artwork. It's like, you know, there is no division, they coming together, right?
Yeah.
And there is an art, like you as an expression, as that creative soul that actually want to be expressed. And, you know, and I see your art very alive. And there's a lot of pattern, there is a lot of things going on, and it feels like, wow, they're coming from, sometimes you feel it like different patterns, but somehow there is a synchronicity, and there is groundness, and there is a space, and there's a lot of different very important qualities that we do need. And also, you know, you create your own ceremonies. You know, you have altars, and you create like you work on yourself, Gregory. It's not something that I'm babbling. You know, you also like through the ceremonial way. You live ceremonial way as well, right?
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
is ceremony for you. So, what is your understanding about ceremony and
I,
secret space, creating that secret
Yeah.
space, because it's also connected to your art and energy, because everything has energy, right?
yes, of course. I mean, everything that you create has energy. So the moment, you know, you create something, you give it life. Now this has a life on its own, and it follows its own journey, you know. But, you know, in order to come here, of course, this journey never ends,
No.
you know, as we very well know. But we come closer every time, you know. It took time, and of course, you know, my art journey, we will show
Yes.
some work that I'm doing now, but let's say then, because that was made many years ago.
And you can see the progress as well, and how you're changing,
here
right?
you can see that, you know, I'm trying to find something here, you know, but it was, but again, this is weaved with my life process back then. I don't know, back then I think I was still trying to find a lot of things. I was not very intense self.
No, I love it. For me, it's very joyful, colorful, you know?
Now, however, you know, it's the connection is very clear, you know, it's exploring that.
So you have that clarity, and you know, and I feel like also that's helped to follow the path that you are on it, and what path you meant to choose, because sometimes we have many paths and it's very difficult. Sometimes someone decide about our path, right? But you have like very clear, this is like awakening point that you know this is the time, there is no time to mess around, right?
And to reconnect with what you just said, you know, with ceremony, with spirituality, with this and that. It's not a product that you call yourself, oh, I'm spiritual, so, you know, I'm gonna have a crystal in my pocket, oh, I'm gonna do a little smudging and a little yoga, and that's me, I'm spiritual. I'm sorry for using this word, but this is all bullshit.
No, I agree.
You know? Bullshit. So the real spirituality for me, just to use again this umbrella term, is to be vulnerable, to see, to manage to see everything inside you, good, bad, black, white, pink, green, everything, and not to discard painful elements of yourself. You know, it's all one. But again, to reconnect with that ceremony, because it is a vital part, not of my life, but I think it's a part that we are missing now.
You know, because it's also in nature, there's seasons, and I feel see them as also as a ceremony, because they're related to the secretness and the celebration, right?
Yes, I think that ceremony was embedded in the daily life of the people of the past. Everything had an element of ritual inside, you know. It was daily life and ritual was one.
Yeah.
If you see, like, from excavations, like, oh my God, what they have found, like, you know, the house had also a shrine. The house, it was one. And how can you not have this element in your life? Sometimes, you know, I like to think that, oh, you know, I'm back in the Neolithic village 10,000 years ago. How life must have been back then. Imagine, for example, at nights, imagine the stars, the clear skies and the stars that these people were seeing. How can you not believe or feel that, you know, there is something greater and that you're part of it? But everything also was done ceremoniously back then. Okay, people had to eat, and animals were part of their life. But I don't think people were going and just killing animals.
No.
They were, I think that there must have been an acknowledgement and a sacredness and a prayer towards this living being that you depend on.
Exactly.
And also don't forget that people were using back then everything. Nothing was wasted.
Exactly.
Nothing was wasted from that animal.
And also things was done by hand. So people they knew that they rely on nature, right?
Exactly.
It's like they depending because, and I think this is a beautiful worship as well, that, and they learn through that. I still remember like we always gather and there was no television, no phone. So what you
Yes.
do, you sing,
You will tell stories.
exactly,
You will
next to
tell
the fire.
stories for the young people to hear, or for the young people, there were rites of passage. There were initiatory phases in someone's life that we have again lost today.
Yes.
A boy or a girl who, for example, were entering more mature states in their life. They were entering like puberty. Yes. Puberty? Yeah. Becoming like teenagers.
Yes.
So, which is a big moment for someone's life.
Of course.
So they had all these ceremonies, sharing this, that, to support someone as a community, as, of course, all that is lost now, Lost, not lost, wrong. We have forgotten. And I think that this is what's happening now. We have started to reconnect with all these things, or we have started to seek out these things because we see that all this around us right now is collapsing. We realize more and more that this is fake. We realize that it's distorted. It's not true, It can be true. It can be like that. Relationships, how we interact with each other, what we say, what we feel, what we think, everything is a bit confusing right now.
Yeah, even I'm asking myself, who am I? It's also confusing for me. I'm still like seeking the truth of myself, but totally. And I can see that many of us are fed up, angry, and that's okay. It's also okay to go through that. But I'm so grateful that you are touching, Gregory, that things, and we have opportunity to bring them up because I can feel it, the vessel, the energy in my body by speaking, and hearing you as well. So there is my body also interact, and it's like, it's also good, like when I feel lost and I don't know what to do, connect with my breath. Simple as that, right? The power that, because some often we give power away.
Yes.
And we've been forced to give power away, and I'm so grateful that now we are standing, and many of us become our rebels, and
is it becoming rebels, or is it trying to find a truth?
That's
or
the right one.
A truth, okay, that was always there. It was always there. It didn't go on vacation,
No.
but we changed our roots and we totally disconnected from all that. So now I think it's this reconnecting again. It's this voice inside us that, when you're out in nature, you're like, oh man, this, I'm at home. I'm at home now.
But Gregory, what helps you to find that voice within yourself? Do you feel like there was a process, or there was something happened in your life that totally said like, oh yeah, and you can feel it, that pull, inside that?
I think it is part of a process. I think in my, according to my journey, my journey was, was a bit slow, but it helped me to understand also the importance of everything happens at the right time. Everything finds you when you're ready to see it and to feel it. It's not something that you can rush. It's not another button that you press and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm enlightened now, you know. Although I see now that, especially with younger generations, you know, they're so tuned in. But again, you know, they are bombarded by, you know, technology, this, that. It's like they're trying to keep young minds and young people very,
in case.
yes, but they are so switched on, and they're so, it's like a different models of humans now, more, you know, they have good connection. And that's why I think it's important, especially, to pass on some messages to younger generations and younger people.
So if you have something like, as we're speaking now, like, what would you say to your younger self?
Wow, that's a... Ooh.
I did it, it just came to me now.
Oh, yes.
Just ask yourself, you know, Gregory, you can see yourself as a teenager, yeah?
I would say to my teenage self, don't be so afraid, you know, and follow your dreams, follow what's really inside you, what you really like to do. Because I think that deep down, everyone knows, everyone has a connection to something, but, you know, we suppress it, Isa, because society has told you, oh, come on, become a doctor, become a lawyer, go after the money, do this, do that, you know. But what if finally that little child inside you wants to get messy and play with paints and this and that, but we suppress it. We suppress it because then we put ourselves in roles. Oh, I'm a man. Oh, I'm a woman.
I need to be serious. I need to grow up, mature, all
exactly.
of that.
And therefore, I need to follow this path in life. I need to get married. I need to have children. I need to find a good job. I need to find a car.
It's overwhelming, even hearing that.
And but you're going against yourself, against your truth. So this is what I would have said to my teenage self. You know, just be true to yourself. Follow your dream, whatever that is.
Do you feel we need support in society on ourselves to also to help us to follow that path? You know, I call the warrior, but actually it's not a war. No. It's like, you know, it's like why we call it as rebel, all of that, you know. It's just simple part of your heart that your heart is longing for.
Yes.
It's like the longing of the heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we call it because you are actually this touch from this word that, you know, it's very programming, mechanical. I often see myself, you know, it's switch on and off because I need to be there on time and stuff. But even though how much I give myself time now, those days, almost nothing for playfulness, for exploring, for being, simple being, you know? And not be like becoming who I am, becoming who cares? I want to be.
You know, is there finally a bigger thing that you can achieve than being yourself? It's big. It's not easy to be yourself, you know, to accept yourself fully as you are, and not just try to hide behind all this new age spiritual nonsense, you know, because come on, you know, in this community we have seen a lot of
and you know, being honest, I've been there as well, you know, I touch, I saw, so I know the process, right? You too, probably yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not all love and light, as we have been bombarded the last I don't know how many years by this new age, whatever that is, which it served its purpose because it connected many people, with energy and this and that. But we have everything. We have light and dark inside us.
And this is the beauty of it, right?
Exactly. And
Not to
also
deny.
one cannot
Yeah.
exist without the other. You need to see your dark, let's call it shadow. I don't know, call it whatever you want. Because that's your trauma.
Yeah.
Okay, this is your wound. Okay, and you cannot just put it aside and just say, oh, it's all love, light, and light, all love and light in my life right now. How can you? No, no, sorry.
No, but I love that
doesn't
because
work.
because there's a lot of I still carry the after so much healing I still carrying some blame and guiltiness inside of me. It's truth, because I know I have that shadows within me, but they are also my medicine.
Exactly.
I'm not afraid to say that anymore. And whatever somebody say, even though I was like very often told like how you can call space for others if you have the shadow within. And then I understand this is also medicine, and I'm working on it. And that kindness towards myself,
Yeah, but also your wound and your shadow is also your treasure.
Yes.
This is, again, as a society, we are, oh my God, we are like freaking out when it comes to pain, when it comes to grief, when it comes to, the icky part of life. And as a society, we just don't like that at all. Yeah, take that pill because you have a little headache. Take that because, no pain. Pain is like something, wow. But if you don't go through that, how are you supposed to transform? That's your medicine. That's your power, actually. Yes, to face your wound, to face your trauma, to face whatever is. Because that's a diamond there. The diamond needs pressure, needs very harsh conditions to become a diamond.
You know something about it,
right? Yeah, and actually, this is what I love when I'm out in nature, and I'm just sitting on a rock that I love, and and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this rock exists for millennia. What's the story of this rock? Who knows through what processes of Earth's transformations and powerful creative processes this rock came to be, and it's just standing there, and I'm going there, and for me this is a sacred place. I'm going there, and I'm sitting with myself. I'm being with myself, with this rock. I don't know, it's like it's a beautiful dialogue that you open up when you're in nature, and also it's a reflection of yourself.
Indeed,
because we are one, the thing that really still surprises me in people is that, come on now, we live in the age of information. Although that's a huge trap, because we don't know what you believe anymore. But we know more things, supposedly, that people like 200 years ago knew in knowledge department. But people 200 years, maybe they didn't have the knowledge, certain knowledge that we have now, but they had this pure connection.
And I feel like this is what we touch in nature, right?
Yes.
It's not manipulated because even though we spoke about it, and I think there will be on second chapter where we're gonna. Now I would love to dive a little bit deeper and then speak about your new art and like your process, and because it's so deep and so related to the nature. But what I love, we spoke about it, like about this creativity and how does it make us alive. And when I'm in nature, she's feeling me, like I feel like sometimes I'm a lot of things empty, and I can feel it like she's just, it's hard to interpret, but I feel like I receive like healing directly from her, just being with her.
Yes.
and just disconnecting, and I can feel it like how she's take the things away sometimes from me,
Yes.
from my head, and it's, you know, and my fear and everything, and
Yes.
she's pure. She's no
She's-
manipulation, because you know nobody
no.
telling you this, do this, do that. It's just like, can I connect to her energy? And sometimes she's trying, but I
Yeah.
not see it, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
feel it. But for me, it's like there is pure connection, dialogue, as you
Yeah.
said, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like, and we cannot sometimes verbalize.
And
Because-
why should you?
Ah.
Why should we verbalize everything? You know, why should we? You know, try to make everything so complicated with words and this and that. It's pure feeling.
And very intimacy sometimes it stays with us, right? Because it's very precious,
Yes,
like
it is because
secret. This is the secret,
But it-
actually.
but you are part of her. She's part of
Yes.
you. You know, it's a reflection of each other.
And you know, I call her like the most powerful artist for me, nature, because when I go to gallery,
Yes.
I'm losing my now. Like I say, oh, beautiful, nice, but in nature, it's like for me, she makes my soul alive, like this dance,
I
you
like
know?
to say that, and I believe that nature is the greatest designer, is the greatest artist of all. And after all, how art came to be by interpreting nature, by interpreting what you see around you.
We have now a land art and all of different terms, yeah, and conditions like.
Exactly, exactly, you know. However, with the Neolithic, it's a whole it's another.
There's like also manipulation in it, our manipulation, how we use it. Because for me itself, you know, even if I make photo, I edit it, and sometimes I feel like just leave it raw, just leave it as it is, you know. But I
yes.
still adding, I still.
You know, this pursuit of the perfect. Why everything has to be perfect? Why everything has to be. In nature, nothing is perfect. You have a perfect imperfection. You have everything comes together beautifully, although it's not perfect. It's the lines are never straight. You know this that there's always this element of imperfection,
And you know-
as in us.
Yeah.
We have this element of imperfection, and that's the beauty of it.
And
I think.
And I also feel it like nature also give you these initiations, because it's, you know, in the raw weather, like people prepare for the season, for the winter, because they knew that they need to survive.
Yes.
There's a like initiation as well, a lot
Yes.
of it. That,
And also they knew that the winter was the time to go inside.
yes,
You know, they have gathered everything they needed from summer and autumn.
they rest.
They had
Yeah.
filled their
And-
stores with everything.
Yeah.
And now winter is the time to go inside.
But also land had that time to rest.
Yes.
Restore, yeah.
But they were living in accordance to the rhythm. So when the land is, you know, it's winter, snow, blah blah, you know, it was like stay inside now, by the fire, share your stories, relax, you know, recharge.
Yeah.
You go within also, you know, because that's what winter is supposed to be. But again, we have reversed everything.
And you
You
know,
know?
there is also like, I'm sorry, but sometimes when I do nothing, I feel guilty, because I feel like sometimes I'm programmed to do things.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
sitting in still is big one, because then I feel like
Yeah.
actually what I'm doing, I'm wasting my time. And sick programming.
Yeah, it's programming because, you know, sitting in stillness is being with yourself. You know, we end up
Yeah.
finally there. It's always there. And I think that's the biggest reflection, man and nature. Nature helps you, you know, really to reach this place within, which is stillness, you know, which is not too many words, is not too many confusing concepts and theories and this and that. It's just what it is, really, you know. But of course, you know, it's a work in progress which never ends. This is, you know, this is why we came here, I think, and school and sorry, Earth is a school. Yeah.
Yes, it is big school.
It is a school with many twists and turns, with initiations, with Also, have you realized that, you have to reach a certain age, for example,
Yes,
for
yes,
things
yes,
to fall in place, for things to happen, for you to realize. So yeah, but you just mentioned creativity
yes,
before,
Gregory, yes. I would
and
love to come back to that.
and I want to say that people think that creativity, when you ask someone, like most people
Yes.
at least, creativity, being creative, most people associate it with the arts.
With title as well, because you know what I've been told, like I was in theater involved, and I was working in the theater, and I was bullied by actress and my director even sometimes, because I didn't finish academy, and in Poland academy is big things, I
Yeah.
become assistant director, like of director, and then I played on the stage, so my pronunciation wasn't that clear, and I need to work very hard to, but it was horrible. And once I said I'm stressed because I was worried that I will forget the sentences, of course, in the theater, and they was bullying me a lot, and and then he said, oh, why you are on the stage, you are not actress, you didn't finish the school, academy,
So
art academy, you have this word academy,
yeah. So you know what that is finally.
Uh-huh.
So what are your product?
Yeah.
So you have to go to the art school or the acting school or whatever, and follow, a specific, and
Organization.
yeah,
Yeah.
a structure.
Structure, yeah.
So where is space for freedom? Where is space for actually expressing yourself how you really want to express yourself? Why you have to, to follow?
No, but it feels like we need to have certificate for
Exactly.
everything. And I'm so happy that you say
Yeah.
that as well, because we spoke that as well, So Gregory, please send that message from your heart, like for you it's like your understanding of creativity and your process, because you've been studying, you've been developing, and now how does it help you bring that, playfulness and openness, and it's flowing, right? And it's not only art.
Yes, that for me, that this is key. This is key for people to realize that it's not only art. Creativity, being creative, is a gift that has been given to all of us. We have this. We are creative as, I don't know, as a species. Men and women are creative. They have this gift of creativity, which can be expressed in many ways. It's not only art. Creativity is to go to your garden and tend to your garden. Creativity is to cook something nice from your heart, not mechanically, not because you just have to put some food on the table. Cooking is a whole process. I don't know, personally I like to play with my veggies, I like to see their textures, I like to see their colors. I don't know, it's like your materials to create something. It is a creative process. Creativity can be expressed in hundreds of ways during your daily life.
This is like the ceremony, right?
It
like
is a ceremony.
Very close
Exactly.
together for me,
Exactly. When people hear ceremonies, I don't know what they're imagining. People dancing naked in the forest. Maybe it's a way, but let's not stand on the word. But we need those words finally to communicate this, don't we? So yes, ceremony, ritual, it's part of life.
And what do you think? What can help us to, I sometimes, I feel, oh, people comes, I don't know, I feel like I don't have any gift, I don't have any talent, or I would love to paint, but there is something like resistance, or people are ashamed. What do you think can help people to open up for creativity and play? It doesn't look, they need to look about pretty, structure. Is that
exactly?
Right?
We're not Da Vinci's here. We're not meant to make another Mona Lisa or whatever. It's, first of all, we have to quiet that voice that tells you, oh yeah, just because you cannot make something beautiful, you're not creative. You are creative. Just put that aside, take a piece of paper, take your pen, don't think, and start doing lines, doodling. It doesn't matter what you make, just do mechanically, automatically. That helps you to, that helps your brain, first of all. It's so therapeutic.
Exactly. Do you feel like healing power of art and therapeutic way of like releasing your emotion, feeling, transmuting them into something,
Yes,
yeah? Or
yes.
it's like communicating without words, right?
Yes, but without having in your mind an outcome, without having in your mind that, oh, what I did is not beautiful.
Judgment.
That's not the point. That's not the point to create something beautiful. The point is for someone who wants to be connected with that and they cannot find a way because they are blocked by this heaviness of the outcome of what finally I'm going to produce. You don't have to produce anything. Take your crayons and play with colors.
Because you need to be productive, because you need to sell,
Yes.
you need to make money, you need to be famous.
Yes.
That's true, Gregory. I'm also been there. Sometimes I put myself down because people don't watch what I'm doing stuff, and then it's like boom, zoom, zoom, and exactly the mind, the ego.
I have been through this. Everyone has been through, especially in the arts, in the art department. All artists have been through that. Like this.
It's so difficult to make money from art, right?
Yes,
make living.
It is, but since you manage to put aside certain limitations that, for example, everyone has been through this phase of art. Oh, I want to become famous. Oh, I want people to know my work and this and that. I have been through that, and actually it's deeply traumatizing, to be honest. And you hurt yourself by trying to project an image of yourself. Oh, I want to be famous. Oh, I want to make money. Oh, yes, okay, all this is good, but at some point I realized that, okay, who are you making this for? I'm doing this for myself. I'm enjoying this process because it takes time. I can work on a piece for a month, hours and hours and hours and hours, but finally, this is my process. This is what helps me. I'm not doing this to become famous. I'm not doing this to make money. This is not my target. Anyway, it's really difficult to, I don't know how many artists are doing this now. Only a few. Artist life is very hard life, and when you choose this path and say, art is my path, it's difficult.
There is like digital. Everyone knows digital, and everyone makes a lot of money. But is that are we true with ourselves? Are we really following ourselves? Are we selling? Another product, another. Let's be honest, because you need to have likes, you need to have followers. This is how you make money. This is how you make famous, right? And this is energy. And me myself, I don't know even if I want to go to that world. Because I need that intimacy within myself, that secret space. And just time for myself, only for me.
Yes, to all of that. That's it. Because, art is a path. Art comes from within. You cannot just choose it as a profession. Oh, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna become an artist. It doesn't go like that.
I thought so it goes because I wanted to be.
It's you either have it or you don't have it. And no matter the circumstances, if you really feel from within that you need to make art, you make art.
Or if you want to create, right?
Exactly. To create, let's call it like that. To not make art.
Whatever sound it is. Because, some people come to me, they want to play drum, but they said, I have no certificate for a drum. I never tried.
Who cares?
Exactly. This is the message, the Gregory.
Exactly. Who cares if you have been to the art school? Who cares if you have a certificate? Who cares about all that, So once I put all those aside, those labels, those expectations, you know, I'm enjoying my work so much now.
But you put expectation of men, not only yours, Gregory, to become, to actually
Yes.
doing this for yourself, as you
Yeah,
said.
because it's this society that tells you you have to be successful. You have to reach, you know, a certain point. Yeah, you're like, honestly, you know, and before, you know, there was pressure. Now there is no pressure.
I can feel
Now
that. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it so much, Isa, because I know now what I want to connect with. I know what I want.
So let's say what
Yeah.
now you want to connect, and we're gonna go in. I think there will be second part,
Yeah.
because I think that this work, your process is required, and we're gonna speak there, Gregory. What you want to connect with? We're gonna start from it, but because before we finish, there's a medicine aspect, you know. So like, it's true that also art, nature, it's become your healers and medicine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is the medicine for you? What does it mean to be medicine woman, medicine man? Do you think everyone has that within us, that seed, that the gifts that we have? For me, this is a gift that we have.
It
you know,
is.
I call it a medicine because
It
it
is
is the way. I don't want to call it because now it's a gender issue. Everyone, you know, is divided. Everyone is something. So just for me, it's very difficult to not to harm and not to hurt anyone's feelings. But I do truly believe that we have something unique. We came with this special, this spark that
all
no
of,
special,
all of us,
and it's no special. It's just a spark, you know.
We all have as you said, a gift, which for me it's a special connection to something. Some people are, you know, gifted with, I don't know, with plants, with this. Other people are gifted with something else. We all have our gift. Other people are gifted with bringing people together, like you are. You know, communication is a gift for other people. We all have our medicine, our gift, you know, all of us. But I think that the turning point is to realize what your gift is. That, you know, and it's very important, you know, to you know, to see as a person, as a being that you are here. What are your connections? What is your gift? What are you bringing here?
Yes, because we didn't say about a lot of, you know, things that you was going through, but you know, you are interested, like astrology is big one, you know, that all of that, you have a lot of things that we didn't, you know, research and your calling, you know. There's a lot of things, Gregory.
Everything is interconnected. It's not this or that. I think that there are certain tools that are coming along your way.
So what is your tool for now, and what is your medicine for now, for that time?
It's a combination of things. You mean with my art and what I'm doing?
With life.
Oh, with life.
And your
It's not just this or that. It's a combination. It's definitely connection with nature, you know, which is part of my life, part of my day. Even to go to work, I just go alongside the river from a beautiful path, you know, and then I go to work, you know. But this connection with the earth, with the land, then bringing in the element of ritual in daily life, and being conscious in what you're doing. When I'm cooking, I'm conscious. I might start dancing actually, you know, while I'm cooking. You know, I like to combine things, you know. Or, you know, I am cooking and my dear friend and flatmate Mandy, you know, she's also at the kitchen, you know, holding the space, she's putting music, you know, simple things. But also as tools, you know, astrology, since you mentioned it, I'm a believer of astrology because I see it, you know, as it unfolds in my everyday life, or generally. Or, you know, there is going to be a day when I'm going to feel drawn to a specific stone. Just for that day, I will carry that stone, that, little things, just little things. I love foraging. For me, actually, this is my, yeah, that's my favorite. Go out in nature, gather my dandelions, gather my leaves, gather my berries, gather this, gather that, and I find so much joy to bring these elements, like dandelions. Eat dandelions, people, they're great for you. It's like amazing stuff. You know, to pick the dandelion, to put it in your salad, this, that. And what else can I ask for? You know,
but it's very humble way, Gregory. What doesn't like, you know, me, like, because I feel like simple life is very hard to me, you know. Simple life, because it takes you out of comfort zone. It's true. Sometimes, you know, you need to make your hands dirty. You need to bring when I was like, sometimes collect the wood, you know, prepare things. Of course, it's physical as well. And I love that physical aspect of it.
It has effort. It has work. It has work. Everything that it's true has work, is
okay.
Everything that is true has work. A relationship has work. If you want to see the true potential, art has work. To make your food, finally, it has work. It always had work. The element of work was always there in people, and especially living, you know, as people lived back then. It had work to go and chop your wood, to do this, to collect your food, to prepare it. There is process, but also that process, that element of time, helps you to realize that also this is a reflection of life.
And I feel like because we came from the village, you know, I will tell you, Grigori, I have a memory from my my auntie. She have a farm, and she have like you know, we plant things. So sometimes I go in the summer and help also forging things and picking up. And you know, always when she cooked for people, she spent hours, because the dinner was a feast. Every worker that was there was receiving the proper food. And for me, I never forget. They live very simple, down to earth, in the middle of nowhere. I never saw like that, the village like that. There's like, oh my God, with horses, with everything, you know. But when she really look after people, and I can see as she was very hard work. These people work so hard, but I could see how she looked after the people. It was, for me, I never saw something like that ever. And this memory from my childhood, it stayed with me.
Yeah.
And it was like a feast, you know?
Feast with good food, but which took time to prepare.
Of course.
Yeah, time,
hours.
Hours. For me, this element of time in certain practices and in our, maybe I'm not putting it correctly, also, you know, the element of waiting, the element of the meaning of rhythm, the element of sometimes you have to wait for certain things to be complete, to come. You cannot expect to be 20 years old or 30 and, you know, boom, this is what life is. I didn't
expect that.
I'll tell you the secret of life. You know, there is no secret, first of all. But I think there are moments of realization that come at specific times. I mean, you have to reach 50 years old in order to come to a certain state of awareness, of consciousness, of this, of that. When you're 30, it's different. You're you know,
the cycle, right?
Exactly,
and there's our
cycle.
body, you know, because I understood, like, I still want to do a lot of things, but my body is like,
yes,
are you crazy?
Yes,
are you crazy?
Yes. So now for us, you know, we're, I don't know, you know,
similar age.
We're similar. We don't say numbers here, you know, but
everyone knows.
But yes, you realize that your body cannot, although your mind and your
it's hungry.
Yes, but you know, you also have to respect your body. The boundaries now that this new reality, not boundaries, no, wrong word. You know, to go along with
that's
this.
self-care, I guess. For me, it's like become a big topic, you know.
Exactly. Now, it's, now for example, my hand gets tired more easily. Some years ago I could have been there drawing for 5 hours non-stop. Now my hand at 2-3 hours just getting tired. So I'm respecting that, and I'm like, okay, that was the work of the day. Thank you. That's all I could do for today. I don't want to push myself. There's no point. So I'm respecting myself, and now just because I know how much work these take, I'm respecting my work even more.
And even though it's so difficult for me, let's speak about money, like how to value and how to put the number. It's for me, like, even though it's people comes for healing or holding the space, whatever it is, it's like it's true, the Gregory, because it's big thing, how we can put the numbers to it. It's kind of
That's a totally different conversation.
Totally different. But we don't
Yes.
gonna. But for me, it's exactly like this is part of it, because as you said, this is hours of work. Hours.
How do you value that?
How do you? It's big, like big one,
Yeah,
But
it is big one.
But it's true. Like it's coming from your head. It's coming from your body, right?
Yeah.
So we do need to It's now I think many people like realizing how important is self-care. Be mindful what we eat, what we listen to it.
Let's connect to what you were saying before about your auntie and the preparation of this meal. Because if you think about it, most of the day for the people back then, we're talking about, a big part of your day was dedicated to that, to gather your supplies, to prepare them, and to produce something healthy and nutritious to eat, because that's your sustenance. And people knew that back then, that whatever you put here is important. It's what keeps you going. That was your medicine, actually, that comes from the earth.
Yeah.
So there was always time involved there. And now, that's why I'm telling you that this society is it's like a
upside down.
Upside down. It's upside down. And now, food. Oh, come on, who cares now? Let's go. Let's buy this frozen thing that I'm gonna throw in my microwave for 5 minutes, and that's my food. Honestly, it's like
no, but it's important to talk about it, right? Because it's part of the cycle, and it's part of that who we are becoming. Because what we eat,
But it's not only what you eat now, Isa. We have to be so careful what you eat, what you watch, what you hear,
everything.
and the people that you are getting in touch with. Who are you allowing to enter your sacred space?
The choices we make,
the choices you make, exactly. Also, the information that you are choosing to,
it's tricky time.
I'll tell you an example.
Yes, please.
Yesterday I was just scrolling down on something, and I watched a video about eggs. I was saying that before to you, but I think it's
very
just
good.
to understand that we are living in the total polarity right now. Now it is almost black and white, and you're trying to go in between to find, like, okay, what's going on?
What is my truth? Yeah?
So one video was a guy who was like, 8 eggs. The eggs are amazing and so good for you. I was like, okay, I like eggs anyway, so I don't care.
Me too.
And then I saw another video of another guy who was like, don't eat eggs because they're harmful and this and this and this. And you're like, you must be joking now, right? Black, white. So you really need to be so careful now what you hear, what you accept, or as truth, or as truthful information, if such thing exists. So I think this is the big challenge right now.
It's true, because we have so much information.
And what to believe, and where is the answer finally? Inside. So personally, when I have 2 pieces of information, not that I have to follow any of them, I don't have to follow any of them. But I'm trying to tune in. I'm listening this, I'm listening that, and then I'm trying to tune in. I'm shutting off my mind, and I'm trying to understand what feels closer to me. When it comes to food, also I'm asking my body.
But sometimes, how do you know, Grigori? Because we are coming to the almost to the end of this conversation, you know. But and you're touching so important things because we kind of know it. Sometimes I lie and I keep saying to myself, I don't know, but inside, actually,
You know.
I lie. I'm lying to myself, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm playing that game. Oh, I don't know. Poor me, but inside, I don't want to
No,
swear.
no. You know,
So this is that feeling in the gut. This is
as
the
you know,
feeling
for
of-
example, what food is good for you and what's not. Your body knows.
So you need to come also from the quiet
You know,
place.
I'm not.
to know?
I'm not. I don't like fanatism. I don't like strict opinions. I don't like. So of course I respect everyone's, eating habits and whatever. But I've realized over the last few years that my body tells me. For example, I'm not a big meat eater, to be honest. But there are moments when my body's craving. I imagine of a pasta bolognese and I'm like, I want it. So you know what? No, I'm not gonna go through this whole ethical situation. I'm gonna bless it, I'm gonna thank it, but I'm gonna eat it and enjoy it, darling, because that's what my body needs. But I'm not doing it often. Mainly my food is coming from things that I'm foraging. Like foraging is a big part of my life, and I'm so blessed to live in a place like that I have access to nature. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to eat whatever feels good for my body and what I think helps.
And
my
I
body.
think last time when we met, I asked you like, what you do that you look so good, Gregory. And I was like, and we spoke about the food because I feel like it's so essential to
It
do.
is.
For me, it's also medicine. And you told me
It
it's
is.
very simple. And you told me how do you prepare meal. And I was like, I was amazed, being honest with you, because it's like it takes time. It's very simple sometimes what you eat. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have to be complicated. We're not talking about complicated, but we are talking about a certain quality, and what would be a good starting point for most people right now. So when you're having something that you're ready to eat, ask yourself, did that exist 200 years ago? Not a long time, 200 years ago, before. Did that exist 200 years ago? Yes or no? This is a good starting point.
And Gregory, I think this is the very good starting point too, because the food and in your art is for me like as a food, and there is a quality. So I feel like it was actually perfect moments to just with gratitude and love and so much, we touch because we could speak about for hours because there are so big topics, about human existence. Actually, we're touching the human existence and what does it mean to be human in this conversation. What does it mean to be me, you, and we met together and we had that conversation just to support each other and just like it's so nice actually to have that conversation.
I think this is the beauty of our times, because as a nature, I'm super optimistic. Yes, we are living in we're living in transformative times, not even challenging. Times of total transformation. And for whoever believes that, this is how life is and everything is as it normal. I mean, I'm like, come on, people, just come on now, Come on.
Come on.
So, what were we saying?
Yes,
it's huge, but at the same time, there is so much beauty, so much truth that's coming up, and also through this uncertainty that we all share right now, we are in uncharted territory, darling. We're living in times that haven't been in modern history before. Maybe they have been like thousands of years ago, but we were not there. So for us, this is all blank canvas now.
Yeah, it is.
And this is the gift of the times, that exactly just because it's blank canvas, we're just in uncharted waters and we're just all riding the waves. But that's the beauty, because through this uncertainty, we're coming together and we share something.
Yeah.
How do we perceive all this? What is this finally, this thing that we call life?
Yeah, because I feel like it's so important to meet and ask, sometimes
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
you don't have that chance and listen to somebody, because this is also part of it. I found this healing power of storytelling, because when I was going through tough time, I even didn't know if I was gonna survive next day, being honest with you. I was like in dark night of the soul. I was listening the stories and they keep me alive and they give me fuel to my soul, and I was thinking, like, if that person can do it, I can also go through my shadows. I can also face myself, and this is the message, like, for me, I truly believe that we need to come together and this still coming, share our food, sing whatever you have, simple as that ceremonial aspect that is a celebration of life that is so missing. So for me today, a meeting is a celebration, Gregory.
It is.
Of human existence, of being alive, of sharing life,
And I think we need those moments now more than ever, because people are so isolated, people are lost in a mobile now, and for me, honestly, that's the saddest thing of all. I'm not rejecting technology, okay? I'm not, when I'm talking about the past, I'm not talking about let's go and live in a cave. I don't know, maybe that would be nice actually. Okay, I'm not rejecting the benefits, that progress has given. I'm not rejecting technology, but technology, it's just a tool, nothing more, nothing less. So the point is how you use it. And when I see people walking in the streets like that,
I am sometimes also the one of them who will be like, he's harsh.
For me, it just hits something, and I just don't like that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Especially younger people, they are lost in that.
Yeah.
And I'm walking. I'm because I'm out in nature the whole time walking, and when I see people being in nature, walking on a beautiful path with like beautiful scenery, and being like that. I don't know, for me this is an irony, to be honest with you, and a little tragedy. I don't like saying it personally. This for me is enslavement.
Yeah, because we give also our power time away.
You are in nature and you carry your mobile. Are you serious now? Or you want to take photo? Photo is your eye. Your eye has already taken the photo.
I'm laughing because I'm the one also, but I'm aware of it.
My dear, we are all more or less in our mobiles. Yes, okay, because okay, but let's not try to lose sight of.
And human connections, like that, like the touch,
the touch, that lovely touch. Oh my God, freezing.
Freezing, but it's like, it's important, right?
Yes. There's no connection now, no communication. Everyone is
shallow. It feels very shallow.
Shallow. Everyone is so boundaried, and I think that we have started getting lost in translation.
We do.
With all these labels, with all these. Woke agenda situations, with all these, don't cross my boundaries. Yes, boundaries are healthy, but we're getting lost into all that. And we're using those terms to isolate ourselves even more.
Yeah, I do also feel it like, that we also afraid to feel it. Simple feel, because it's also take a courage to feel.
So excuse me, can I ask you something? Because I'm observing it and that hurts me deeply. So people are in all those dating apps now,
Yes.
but you don't have the courage or the balls to approach someone in real time
Yeah.
and say, "Hi, I'm Gregory.
I
What's
like
your name?
you."
I like you."
Simple as that.
But you have to hide
Yeah.
behind a screen, or no, sorry, I don't accept that.
No,
I
me either.
prefer to stay single, you know.
So it's 2 of us already.
Yeah, but no, I'm seeking for some connection here. You know, I don't want to talk to a screen. I want to talk to a person.
And that's why, you know, I found it like, for me, I'm grateful to everyone that is willing to meet me in person, because I could do it, you know, online and stuff, but, you know, I still put this online, but there's that connection, you know, that is a moment, a time, and effort. And effort is part of life, as we say, and work. Value the work, value the time, value the effort. For me, this is a meaning, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, have that courage, and also like things like discipline, you know, you need to, like things that we feel like, no, as you say, nothing comes, like, you need to put the work. And I think this is the things that it was for generation.
Yes.
And I love to feel that, you know, physical even makes me alive, that aliveness and being alive. And this conversation make me feel alive. So Gregory, I'm so grateful that, you know, because I feel energized. I feel like I don't want to use positive, but joyful. Very joyful, you know. And I feel this is like, I'm grateful that, you know, we had that courage to actually meet up, talk honestly about these things, about life.
That, you know, to talk honestly. Yes, and to show, don't be afraid also to show your vulnerability, your sensitivity. Why are we hiding those elements? Oh my goodness, especially men? No, actually, no, sorry, it's not only men, because you have equally now toxic masculinity, but toxic femininity on the other hand. And finally, where all this, if you follow the thread, I think it reaches pretty much the same point. Total lack of communication, total lack of
blaming, gaming, you know,
of being honest, total lack of showing that you're vulnerable finally, that you're sensitive, that you are emotional, that you are, honestly, why all this is hidden now? And everything that's important is the perfect image, the perfect body, the perfect this, the perfect that. There is no perfection. If you want to be perfect, you have to be perfect outside and inside also. This is the, you know what I mean? Not only to show, you know, a perfect image, which is fake.
But
so
you know,
fake.
And again, come back to the nature, Gregory, because for me, she's a master, you know, because each tree is shape is different. There is different equality, and you are like, oh my God, it's like, and that uniqueness. And I feel like it's also maybe beautiful way to finish our conversation, like, you know, to be unique, and what does it mean? Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Whatever it is, unique or uniqueness, you know, all that, because it's another label, you know, to find that quality within you, and gift, and the spark, and what makes you feel alive.
And embrace that. Embrace that, because exactly those differences are what makes you unique.
Right?
Otherwise, what? We are, what? Look around you and you see people wearing the same stuff, having the same, you know, the same look. And for me, this is, it's like seeing factory products, basically.
It is.
One after the other. Find your own voice. You know, find your own way to express yourself. But express yourself somehow.
Express yourself.
Yeah.
Express yourself. So this is a soulful conversation, and I cannot wait for a chapter 2 where we're gonna go dig deeper, because slowly bits and bits, right? And there's like some juicy stuff waiting for us.
Absolutely.
So another thing so beautiful. So of course I will post things about Gregory, how to connect, if you have any questions, if you'd like to interested about his art. He doesn't humbly shows his art much, because, you know, but how people can find you, and how it, like, you know, somebody say, hey, I would love to
Yeah, of
buy
course,
something, or do something together, because you hold also space for, experience.
absolutely. Okay, how to find, it's called social media these days, we all have that.
Uh-huh.
But although my creative path now, it becomes more solitary, but I'm always open to, come together with like-minded people, and whether that might be a little chat and conversation, or a little collaboration. I have done many collaborations in the past, or actually, I haven't done this for a few years now, but I used to do a lot of workshops, and,
Yes,
and
I know.
I was working a lot with elderly people, and I loved it, Isa, because it was what we were saying before about creativity. It's this expression that many people are using. Oh, I cannot draw a straight line. Who cares? And it was such joy to come with elderly people, especially. Elderly people, another thing,
Big
the
one,
elders,
big one,
we
big one.
have totally put them
Yeah.
aside, but they have so much to say.
Let's be honest, in the ceremonial, the anxious culture, the children and
Yeah.
elders was the one,
Yeah.
right? That we give respect to it, yeah?
And it was really so rewarding at the end of those workshops when they were playing around,
Yeah.
and then you would see that look in their eyes, like,
Aliveness.
I did that. This, that's
Everything, that is the price, yeah?
Yeah.
Big price.
Big prize, darling.
So, how people can find you?
What do you mean? Like,
In social media, or if somebody want to connect? I will put your
of
details
course,
anyway,
now you will
yeah?
put in.
So we're gonna put, but
all that, all this. There's a website, there is Facebook.
So what is your website name?
My website is www.grigorios.com. Very easy, straight to the point. Yeah, so no, there is visibility there. I'm not like hidden in a cave.
Yes.
But also, I'm not. I'm not crazy about that either. I'm not the type of person who's gonna do one post after the other. Or pursuing this exposure.
I know, but I feel like this work is precious. It is.
It
Gregory,
is, but you know what?
It doesn't need to be for sale.
I have to live also, and I'm happy to sell a piece, but I'm not going to lose myself into all that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, and you know what? I sold a piece quite recently, like a big piece. And okay, I'll be honest, it wasn't cheap. Because when something takes like a month to finish, I don't want to undervalue myself either. But I do believe that everything will find the right time, the right person, the right, and finally,
and you trusting Gregory.
Exactly. And that piece, actually, I started it in 2020.
Wow.
Like years ago, and it was just sitting there patiently, and someone saw it, and they were like, "Yes, I like that."
And this is the core.
It resonates, and this for me is the reward. I don't, it's nice to sell your work, but especially, when it finds this nice connection with the person who will say, "Listen, yes, I will give you this money, and gladly, because that speaks to my soul, that speaks to my heart, and I will be honored."
And this is self-respect, yeah?
Yes.
That is so important.
Exactly.
Self-care, self-love, self-respect is part of that journey.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
So we say yes to all.
Yes
Not
to all. Yes.
Yes. And we're gonna continue very soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. See you for part 2.
Yeah. Hugs are also medicine.